Hello and welcome back. I'm Dr. Lori Williams, and today I want to talk to you about how trauma teaches you to abandon yourself. Essentially, trauma creates a space in us where we feel as though we're not safe. And as a child, everything that we do is in the search for safety. So if you've had a trauma, you'd learn at a very young age that you need to ignore your needs and disconnect from your feelings, your truth, your body, and silence yourself to keep the peace or to avoid rejection. So when you end up doing this, you end up choosing what is keeping you safe over what is authentically you. You start, realizing through other people's reactions and responses to you of what parts of you are, considered bad and which parts are acceptable. So those other people's perceptions of those bad parts of you, you start to suppress and hide and bury deep within you. And what takes its place is more of what other people want you to, what you want to be, what they want you to be, who they're creating you to be. So trauma teaches the nervous system that things like love, safety, and belonging depends on who you are and what you can do for others, not actually who you truly are. It's not about your authentic self at all. And as a child, that you've learned that being yourself was going to end up causing you pain at some point in your life. So you adapted. This is essentially all about learning how to survive. So when you have a trauma, you go into survival mode because the end goal is for your body, for yourself to never ever have to go through that trauma again. So we become very adaptable in, over time, those patterns become your identity. So, and this is a pattern. Becoming adaptable is the pattern in order to keep you safe. But in having those patterns, and allowing them to become your identity, and when I say the word allowing them, I'm not coming from a place of blame, but I'm coming from a place of understanding that if what you are allowing, you can also change. So this is a place of empowerment, that you have the ability to change these patterns. And essentially, it becomes your identity and you forget who you were before the survival mode kicked in. So there is a huge cost for self-abandonment. You lose trust in your own voice, in your own intuition. You feel empty even when everything seems to be going good. You could feel anxious, depressed, burnt out. You overgive, you overwork, you overexplain, you overprove yourself. You're constantly seeking safety outside of yourself, and maybe in relationships, and maybe even in the career that you've chosen could definitely serve as a safety point for you. But essentially, with all of this, you always have this deep sense that something is missing. So when you are able to heal the traumas, what you're actually doing is you're coming home to yourself. You're releasing all of those coping mechanisms and all the ways that you had to survive. And it's a very slow, gentle, non-judgment way of just releasing those things and recognizing it, essentially that they served you at one point, but they are no longer serving you now. So essentially, to heal this part of you, you've got to first notice when you're leaving yourself behind. Obviously, healing the wound you've got to heal the wound at some point, because you can't just put a Band-Aid over the wound and expect true healing to happen. But like I said, you can start to notice when you're leaving yourself behind. You can even ask yourself, what parts of me, what parts of my needs am I ignoring right now? And begin to just learn to validate yourself instead of waiting for other people to do it. Essentially, the more you stay with yourself, even in those times, especially in those times when it's uncomfortable, the more true safety and authentic safety that you're actually taking and rebuilding for yourself. Because, as children, we are looking for safety in the adults around us, which unfortunately they're not always capable of providing that for us. But as adults, it is our responsibility to create that safety within ourselves. And healing teaches you how to do that. It's teaching you that safety isn't someone or something outside of yourself. It's all within yourself. So essentially, I want to finish this video by saying that you did not fail yourself by surviving. You were just learning to survive. You were just getting through it. But for survival isn't the end of your story. Coming back to your true and authentic self is. So if you're allowing yourself to stay in survival, even as an adult, you're only still living out half of your story. It's time that you trade that survival in for coming back to your authentic self and living the rest of your life as your authentic self, because that is where your true freedom and safety is, where you're going to find it. It all comes from within. So healing is essentially, through the healing process, you remember that you never needed to earn safety and that it was never anybody else's responsibility. Again, it was when you were a child, but as an adult, it is no longer their responsibility. You just need to return to the safety and create that you have created within yourself. I hope this video has helped you. And if you would like to find out more about how I can help you, please feel free to set up a one-on-one free consultation, and we can further discuss how I can best help you on your journey. I'll leave a link for a free consultation in the description of this video. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you back here next time.